Good morning, guys. It's Thursday, so it's time for a tip talk. And I know that we have been talking about the genre challenge. We don't want you to forget that that's happening. But today we want to talk about something near and dear to our hearts here in the library. So we just got back from spring break. It was lovely to have some time off. It was lovely to have some sunshine. But when we came back from spring break, it was kind of hard to envision the finish line. Right?
Yes.
We're like, woo, summer is not, it's not.
It's way over there.
Yeah, summer is not here yet.
No.
It is spring, and that means we have a couple more months of school. And if that sounds as daunting to you as it does to us some mornings, we're here to offer some suggestions.
Right. Yes. As we're talking about this, I'm thinking, I love you all, and I love my job, but also squish. You know, that sort of like existential dread feeling right now when you get up in the morning and you're like, do I have to? Do I have to get up and do this? So we are right there with you if you're feeling this way. But as she said, finish line is in sight. So we want to talk about some things that we do to help keep us going towards that
motivated, because now is not the time to quit.
No, don't lay down.
We're too close to the finish line for us to give up the ghost. Also, this is when it gets kind of crunchy academically, in case you didn't notice, which is one of the reasons it is kind of hard.
Right, not to stress you out more, but
don't give up.
Don't give up. Keep going, especially if you're a senior. Even if you're not a senior, you still have a finish line this year too.
You are literally this close if you are a senior to being done with public education.
Yes, but things we do for self-care, sometimes they seem just kind of small, but honestly, breathe. Every time I've tried to tell someone this when they are in a crisis moment, it's like, oh yeah, whatever, like oxygen is going to help me right now. But it does, but you need to practice it before you get to crisis moment so that when you are in crisis moment, it can help you. So whenever I notice, like one thing I do when I'm stressed out or depressed even, is I hold my breath. Like I don't realize I'm not breathing until it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not breathing. So whenever I notice that, I go ahead and take a big, deep breath through my nose and then let it out through my mouth. And if you are in a place where you can practice doing that, then you want to do that several times in a row. You can also do some visualization. You can visualize and think about breathing in whatever you want. Some, like yoga videos, will say breathe in love. Some breathe in light, breathe in peace, breathe in whatever it is you need, breathe it in, and then whatever it is you don't want, you breathe it out, whether that's anger or stress or sadness or just negative energy. You want that out of your body and out of your head, and pairing it a physical action with that mental, it can be effective. Okay.
But speaking of yoga, yoga. Right? So yoga's not for everyone. We get that. But there is something about sort of getting out of your own head and having someone direct your body through movements that is kind of liberating. And most yoga is not so physically strenuous that you would have to break a sweat or you need special equipment. You can just get on the floor with bare feet and turn on a YouTube video.
We literally do this in the library because, we don't have a planning period, so every now and again we need a break. And we've started this year doing yoga. So if you come in and you see us lying on the floor, that's what we're doing. But yesterday we watched one about yoga when you're angry, and we thought maybe it's going to be a strenuous thing. No, we literally laid on the ground.
We did.
We laid on our faces, and we laid on our back, and we did a very little bit of movement. And then another thing it had us do was laugh. Okay, which sounds silly and makes you feel a little crazy, but it's helpful. So there's another thing you can do if you're feeling bad, is find a way to laugh. Watch a funny video, watch a funny movie, talk to your funny friend if you've got one of those. Be your funny friend if you are one of those people. It is a great way to relieve stress and increase endorphins. So laughter.
Another thing that I personally do when I'm feeling sort of the blahs is get outside. And I was not an outdoorsy kind of person in my childhood and youth, but now I appreciate how much better I feel when I sit in the sun. So anytime that you have a chance to sit outside or sit near the window where the sun is shining in, it's proven now that literally the vitamin D is good for you. It's good for your immune system, and it's good for your mental health. I didn't know that. I just knew that I felt better when I sat in the sun for a minute.
And if for some reason you can't sit in the sun, like you don't have a good place to do it, or you're sensitive to the sun, then maybe consider taking a vitamin D supplement. You can always talk to your doctor, but they are available over the counter.
Sure.
I personally take lots of supplements that have to do with energy and mood, and vitamin D is one of those. I also take something called GABA that does what I call quiets the internal screaming. So if you are a certain person that knows exactly what I'm talking about, like, oh, internal screaming, yes, I get that. Talk to your doctor about something called GABA. It's also available over the counter. But like I said, some people need these things. Some people don't need these things. We are all different.
Yes.
But another thing that we try to do is not judge ourselves for the way that we feel.
Yes.
It's things I've dealt with my entire life. When I was in high school, I made myself feel bad about feeling bad a lot because I thought there's no reason for me to feel this way. I'm not experiencing things other people are experiencing that are worse. But it didn't change the fact that I felt bad.
It doesn't matter. There is no level of worse. Literally, it exists only in your mind. Miss Wheatley likes to tell me that I lead a charmed life, and I think she's probably right. But the truth of the matter is, stuff still gets to me. I still get upset about stuff, and just because my stuff isn't, my house burned down last night, doesn't mean my stuff isn't real to me. So when I say to my husband, I had a bad day, and then he tells me about his day, and it's 400 times worse, doesn't mean my day wasn't also bad.
Right. Your feelings are valid. Okay, they're feelings that you have. But if they're uncomfortable feelings, then there are ways, to move past them and move through them.
Right.
And if you try the things that we've talked about and those don't work for you, they're not enough. You are at crisis point. You are struggling and the things that you're trying are not working out for you, then we strongly encourage you to talk to a counselor here at school. We have therapists available to you, so you could talk to your counselor and possibly get referred to someone that you could talk to. There is no shame in seeking professional help.
None.
I regularly see a therapist myself. It took me years to get to that point, but it has been helpful. Okay?
Absolutely.
They can help you build skills to more effectively deal with problems in your life.
Exactly, because even though there's a lot of information out there on the internet, blah, blah, it's just like you wouldn't perform your own surgery after going on WebMD. You shouldn't be responsible 1,000% for your own mental health if you're in a crisis place.
Exactly.
So ask someone else to help you. That's what they're for. So what we're really trying to say is not just hang in there, but hang in there by doing this, this, or this. And if these thises that we talked about aren't your thing, maybe you know what your thing is and you just haven't made time for it.
Right. Maybe sleep could be an issue. Like I know a lot of students I talk to don't go to bed at night. Sometimes it's because you have trouble winding down.
Right.
Sometimes it's because you're playing the Xbox or you've got your phone on
the phone.
and it's really hard to sleep when you've got something glowing in your face that you're literally interacting
with. Which we know because we also do. This, again, with the no judgment. We get it. Also food. Make sure that you're eating plenty of protein and produce.
Drink water.
And you're well hydrated. Like there are so many things that can make you feel less awful. And if that's what you need right now, then it's up to you to take those steps.
And we acknowledge that sometimes taking those steps are hard.
Yes.
Even something as simple as drinking water can be difficult.
I mean, especially if you're a student at school and you have limited bathroom breaks. Like, as teachers, we totally get that too.
Right.
So, what we're saying is try one thing. Just one thing. And see if it helps. And if it helps a little, then try the next thing. Like it doesn't have to be never-ending terror between here and the end of school.
No. Please no.
There are options.
And again, if you want somebody to talk to and you can't get into your counselor for some reason, you can come and talk to us.
Sure thing.
We're happy to listen to you guys and help make suggestions if that's what you want. If that's not what you want, we can also just listen to you. So, but yeah.
All right, guys, we got this.
Okay. See you later.